Well, I declare the meeting open and a big welcome to everybody. Call for apologies.
We have an apology from Councillor Dixon and Councillor Mulligan is going to be late.
Yes, right, thank you. Somebody would like to move that they be accepted. Councillor Egan and seconded Councillor Matthews. I put the motion, those in favour say aye. Aye. Against, no, carried. Somebody would like to move the recommendation that the minutes of the ordinary and confidential meetings held on Thursday the 18th of April 24 as circulated be taken as read and confirmed.
I move, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Colton, thank you. Seconded Councillor Smith. Put the motion, those in favour say aye. No, carried. There's no presentation. I call now for declarations of interest, gifts received and conflicts of interest.
I've got a conflict of interest in the motion that's going to be put to the meeting later on.
Okay, I did see that.
I'll chip off when that comes up.
Okay, thank you. And we have some additional late items. Sorry, did I miss something?
No, I think employees of people that may be involved in a council matter should declare an interest.
So maybe you, Kelly, maybe.
Yep.
Right, okay, thanks. There's actually three additional late items that I'd ask that you include on the agenda, and they are the property matters 7.4 in the confidential section, 7.5 the vacuum excavator purchase in the confidential section, and 7.6 will be a verbal report on the audit draft for the road study from the audit office. So would somebody like to move they be accepted onto the agenda, please? Councillor Matthews, seconded. Councillor Egan, put the motion, those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, no, carried. Thank you. All right. Now we go to first item.
That's the motion.
That's a motion, yes.
Moved by Councillor McAlvin.
Well, would you like to speak to this, Councillor Galvin?
Should I chuff off?
Yes, you may.
I'm in the wrong section, just hang on. Hang on.
What did I go here?
Yeah, can you, because I've got this.
We've got the motion in front of us, just asking to speak to it, that's all. So we've all got the motion in front of us, but I'm asking you if you'd like to speak to the motion.
Oh, okay, so the Bin Group shop has been, I don't need to read all that.
No.
I'd just like to move a motion that when we vacate and go to the sale yards, when the workshop goes up there, the op shop would like use of the shed.
Is it? Must be close, is it? I can't visualise
It's
it.
right out the back.
Okay.
It's right out, it's a shed where Coop works out
It's a
of.
brick building, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's not brick.
No, it's
Shed.
aluminium, clay. It's right behind the hall over the library.
Yeah, right behind the law.
Corrugated iron shed, is it?
Yeah, and it's just got, well, it's got Robbins in there, Coop's in there, Peter Kennedy was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a big shed and they want to use it as more storage space.
And if anything happens to the op shop, it just reverts back to the council.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. If we just put in there that if anything happens or...
Well, to formalise this, can you move that and I'll get a seconder?
I'll move the motion
Okay.
and add that extra in if anything happens to it.
Oh, good idea, yeah.
Yep.
Seconded, Councillor Egan. Is there any discussion? I really have no opinion on this. I don't mind.
It's just loaning them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just saves leaving an empty
Yeah.
shed there and it can be utilised and it's utilised for the community.
All right. Yeah, anything you're saying, Jeff? You right? Right, well, I'll put the motion then. Those in favour say aye. Aye. Against, no, carried. Unanimous?
Bronwyn, could you ask Chris to come back?
He's back. Oh, no, he's Linda.
Linda comes in.
Come back, Chris.
Good day, Linda. Hey, good day. You are, Brad.
Oh, I went straight past.
Well, see, that's it, you got your accelerator out too far.
So the next, oh, wait till Councillor Matthews comes back. The next item is item 9.2, Executive Services Report. Max, is it?
No, it's the committee recommendations.
Oh, is that the next? Have I got it wrong?
9.1.
Oh, just two. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, 9.1, recommendations from the committee, and that's all there in front of you. I'd ask for a mover. If we adopt those recommendations in this meeting. Councillor Egan, the seconder. No. Councillor Galvin, any questions? It's everything we discussed a couple of weeks ago. I don't think there's anything in there really that we...
Looking for a like is asking for a sign. Putting a sign up.
Well,
We can't do it till we've had
yeah, until the council adopts it, it's not a
No,
resolution.
no, this is.
I have had some feedback from Susie that they are quite helpful out at Yetman, so I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
Yeah. So I had a mover and a second, don't I?
No, not, yes, you have. Sorry,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
Councillor Regan, seconded by Councillor
If there
Galvin.
isn't any questions, I'll put the motion and ask you to vote on it. Those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, no, carried, thank you. Now,
Executive Service.
executive services now.
Happy to answer any questions that people might
Well, I
have.
did ask some questions, Max, but we'd have to follow up on them, I suppose. I had a question about Michelle's Lane, Whitlow, about a 3-lot rural subdivision. It's only curiosity, but I don't know what it would be.
You want details or just?
Well, just a clue as to what it is. It's sort of, there's no town or village there, I think. Is it going to be like farmlet type thing? Is it?
I suppose so, because there's minimum area requirements in that
That's
area.
right.
The 3-lot subdivision you're talking about?
Yes, yes. Yes. All right. Is there anything else? I've got to go through it. I haven't got anything marked.
I had something on did you remember before we asked in the meeting about the telecommunications? Did anyone find out what that, like they're an awfully expensive tower to put on your place, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I don't know. We didn't get an answer to that. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
So that's the Horton.
Pardon?
Is that the one
Yeah,
at
there was
Horton?
two. There was one
There's one
at Gravesend, wasn't there? And then there was one at Horton, I think.
You got any idea, Justin? No.
Like one of them was 240,000, and then the one at Horton was, the North Star one's 243.
Well, I think I know the North Star one. It's there. That's a Telstra tower that's been
That's a
installed.
big one.
It's a big one. Yeah. Right.
And then
near
there was one at Horton, somebody,
But it wouldn't be anything to do with the railway, the one at Horton, so I don't know what it is.
One at Hickey. Hickey.
What do you mean, oh?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a single nocular pole, I think is what it's called.
that's what they called it.
It appeared to be a private thing, didn't it? Yeah, yeah.
I thought the one at North Star was a private thing too.
No, it's up and running. It's Telstra put that in conjunction with Inland Rail. One at North Star.
How come they can do that so quickly?
Well, that's remarkable.
It's on railway land, probably.
Anyway, well, I don't
While
know.
we're talking about facilities and buildings, what made me think of it was the new amenities at the Warriata Rail. Where are we up to with the one at Horton? Because I inquired last year and Coop sent me a picture, the showers and toilets that are going out there, and Coop sent me a picture of them already done, made in Victoria, and they were going to be brought up here. They're not there yet, are they?
I think they're there,
Are they
they
there?
just haven't been connected.
And I have it on Andrew's word that they will be commissioned by end of financial year.
Okay,
They're currently sitting there and they haven't been plumbed.
okay.
Well, that's good. I was going to comment on, I particularly noticed the old lodge building the other day and how it's all spruced up. And I think generally our buildings that we're in charge of or own look pretty good.
Yeah,
They look
they do.
well maintained. It's a good look. And another little tiny thing is it's got bird proofing on the grandstand at Binger Oval. Isn't it the showground? Is it the showground?
It's a showground.
Not Bingra Oval.
No, it's at the
Yeah,
showground.
that's what I thought.
Well, when you look at the picture, it's certainly not at the Oval.
No, I know
that's a
that.
showground,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's meant
It
to.
says a big Oval, see?
Oh, okay, yeah, well,
Well, it's only petty, but it's incorrectly labelled.
yeah.
Well, it is oval in shape.
Racecourse.
And
And
it's working.
a test for people's vision. Does anyone know what the camping area donations were?
Oh,
I couldn't read it. 500, 600.
600 and something dollars.
Yeah.
92.
$669.50.
Well, there you go, that's what it was.
Except you can't read it. Now, my next question, Max, is the Gravesend tip says it's filling up fast. What's the plan there then?
Well, we can either extend the tip,
We have to buy country though.
we have to, we have to plan it out. I'd imagine that's part of Saul's management plan for the tips, which we're still waiting for.
Which we hope to have in the near future.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the reason I ask is that the comment always comes that we've never got a problem here with tips, we've got plenty of room. But I've noticed this Gravesend tip's been full for quite a long time.
One of the issues that we have across all the landfills, probably with the exception of Warialda, which is where it's based, is that we haven't got the capacity to move a compactor freely between the sites, which creates a huge amount of extra space
Yeah.
in landfills
Sure.
because of the way they cut and compact
Yeah.
the rubbish. We're having discussions as recently as early this week about borrowing to buy a new compactor that we could float with only one person. Because the current one is 3.7 metres wide, you need an escort
I see.
to
Yeah.
move it.
Yeah.
The stumbling block is that a new compactor is comfortably over $1 million.
It'd be from the waste fund.
It's a pretty big stumbling block.
But
What-
no, the waste fund can afford it.
Yeah, well, it'll be the next council will do that, surely. The wheel on the excavator, no good?
You don't get the same productivity for certain.
No, because of its narrowness, you know.
Oh, well, and just the amount of ground it can cover,
Yeah, yeah,
speed, all of those things.
Yeah. All right, okay, well, we'll worry about that when it comes in front of us, eh? Yeah,
Where did those tyres come from?
that's the
Of
tyre.
cars.
Yeah, it's a cage that stores tyres and,
Yeah, but those green ones, they're not on the road to Barrable, are they?
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
they were the
They're the
Christmas
Christmas
tree.
ones, yeah.
Well, we know where they came from.
Well, it's all legal, it's okay. You can paint tyres if you want to.
Yes, we can't put them out.
Oh, you think it's outside our show? Dear, investigating here.
It's in Tamworth.
Catherine, I actually had some green tyres like that at my place and I was worried that Damien took them to the tip, so they could be those too.
Oh, they might be
It
Damien.
might be local green
There was
tyres.
some on the Elkham Road too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't checked to see whether they're,
So the person from Barraba has been deliberately running around painting green tiles so that we
a
won't.
Christmas tree.
Yes.
I think they're still at Barraba, actually.
I think they might be.
Yeah.
I actually replied to an email and then I read it in here. So the heating pumps will be working by August, I read in here.
It's in here, yes.
Yes, so that means then we will be able to use the Bingra pool an extra month each side roughly, wouldn't it? Is that what the plan was?
Well, if the patronage warrants it, it does
Yeah.
cost money to run the pool.
I know that, but I thought that was the idea of the heating.
Well, the idea is to extend the season if
Yeah.
possible.
Well, I think the other thing is when the pool opens, it's actually warm, because normally it's freezing.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
No, I just replied to your email and then I read there afterwards that they were going to be done in August.
Yeah. We'll keep going then. Bring up anything if you've got it, but I've got a query about. I was approached by a member of the public about the difficulty the Coolatide tractor pool had with allowing caravans in there. Was that correct or?
Well, it was on-site camping. Actually.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
They haven't got approval for it, and our insurance company wouldn't cover.
So who is that? that's on that rec ground, is it? Or-
Yes.
And that's
But the
the
council's the reserve
We're,
manager.
we're the manager, okay. That, well, that's fair enough.
The other thing they did was at the last minute, they said they were going to have cattle there.
Cattle?
And, yeah, Longhorn, Texas, something like that.
Oh,
And, yeah, like, we have to go back to the insurance company and arrange
right.
cover for all this stuff.
What
And
were they just on display or what was it?
I don't know what they were going to
Right,
do with them.
I don't know.
In the end, I don't think they...
They'd be only for exhibition though, wouldn't they?
I would have thought they'd just be in the yards. I
But, you
thought.
know, when you're mixing cattle with
These-
campers and, you know...
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
don't think people still fully understand how difficult it is to get insurance for these things.
Yeah,
And I know that, like, we've had issues at Cropper Creek and a few other places about the filling out
the extent of the form.
the
Yeah.
extent of the forms, but that's required by the insurance company. If people want to be covered, because if we don't cover them, they wear the liability themselves.
Well, is the tractor pull a 355 committee? Or?
The people that run the showground are a 355 committee. If they're the ones that run the tractor pull,
Well,
I'm sure
I presume they are, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing I have is naming of Nicholson Oval. I'm not sure what we're up to there. I got a phone call the other day from a staff member asking if the plaque where we're going to put those people that have made contribution over the years is going to be ongoing, and I said, no, it's not. But the Sports Council might like to put a plaque up in 10 years' time if they want to.
Yeah.
But as far as we're concerned, it's a one-off. And I'd just like to get this completed in our term anyway, if we could. And I think the hold-up is the Sports Council with supplying the names. But the other thing I would like to mention is that when those names come back in, they need to be reviewed because I don't have any idea myself, but I've had it pointed out to me that some of the names that have been put forward probably shouldn't be there. And this is always awkward, isn't it? But we want to be fairly diligent with who we put on it. Yeah.
It's where it was a bit, I think even doing it in the first place was a bit
Yeah.
wishy-eye, because you're going to get people that, they've done bugger all, but
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been told, yeah. I wonder, can we just go ahead and name it and worry about that later?
The Sports Council have put a post on Facebook asking for any suggestions for names, and I don't know whether Sarah's been talking to you lately, but when her and I were talking about it, the idea was that the Sports Council comes back with the list of names and it goes back to council before anything gets printed on anything to go up.
But yes, well, I've been told that too. But if they do that advertising and they get everybody's name that's ever been involved, I don't know that that's what we're looking for.
You would hope Sports Council would then have a meeting and go through the list
Well, I wonder will they?
as to
We've had this before when we've tried to put names on plaques. At Pioneer Park, at Cooler Type, it just all got out of hand.
Well, what I would suggest is that we go ahead with our naming that we've agreed to do, and let the Sports Council muck around until they're ready.
Well, do you want council to just buy the board and then tell the Sports Council then they can put whatever name, like if we pay for the
Well,
board and the names
if
go
you're
on.
happy for everyone's name to go on it, I don't know if that's the right way to go.
I think we just wait until they get themselves organised and David Nevitt could do something
Yeah.
internally.
But in the meantime, we could do our
Two or
own.
three more, two or three more names to put on it by then.
That's
Because
right.
they originally did want 2 or 3 boards because that's where this stemmed from.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah,
Originally, it was people that have made an outstanding contribution.
because the question was asked, well, if we've got more names that...
We could do it at 6 point.
Can we have another?
Yeah.
I'm giving you unlimited...
I
Yeah.
think we should suggest it goes inside the building too, on the walls,
Yeah.
not
Should make
external.
it sort
so
of correspond.
Yeah, all right.
If we just get it named to start with, how we were going to do it.
Well, can we do that? Can we get on and get a plaque
Yes.
and get it open?
Yes.
Thank you. Right. Anybody got anything? I think I've finished.
There was, I received an email asking if the Living Classroom business plan was going to be tabled at this meeting. I've got to admit, I assumed it was going to be the June meeting.
No, it wasn't this meeting. No.
Yeah, and I've been working towards the
Yeah,
June
no, it
meeting.
was always a June meeting. Yeah.
So it'll
Oh,
definitely
it was
be,
definitely the June meeting.
Yeah, we
I thought it
decided
was
on
this
that.
one.
No, because I think it was you, Ellen, somebody expressed concern at the time limit,
Yeah.
And I said, look, it doesn't matter, we'll make, June's fine.
It's under construction.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, May was too close because you were away until April, so that's
I think that's right, and I think that was a fair request. Yeah, I have got another thing here. The cool room that council purchased from Fresh Pines, is that the one that's going to be the living classroom cool room?
Yes, but now it's going to be a mobile cool room.
Yeah, put on a trailer.
So it's available for.
I think that's a very good idea. Then you can park it right next to the building, yeah. Yeah, good idea. That's it in your report, Max. Is there anything else, any other matters? No? Well, I'll ask for a mover of the recommendation. Councillor Galvin, seconded Councillor Moore. The motion, those in favour say aye.
Aye.
No, carried. I have to go back to my page numbers, I think I'm going to get lost here.
Can I just pull that line down a bit behind Max?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, next item 9.3 is the VA.
It's for the-
Continuing use thing.
It's for the continue. Do you remember we're on a time limit?
I might be taller, but I'm not more graceful, so.
On that corner, yeah.
That went without saying.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Is that one annoying too?
Oh, that's probably not too bad.
That
That
one,
one
I
there.
just, you can't see what
That one's better, now we can see it.
This one put down too?
That's all right.
That one's all right, it was
Yeah.
just,
We just see the shine off.
Max is there.
Back to the head.
They're picking on you, Max.
I think he might be coming back at you, councillor Smith.
I felt the humour.
What page are we on now?
I felt the glow.
43.
43, and it's about the continuing use of the accommodation.
Yes, you remember that we got a special deal for these 2 units.
Yep.
Because we bought those ones up at the living classroom. And anyway, we got them delivered on site, and now we're doing the paperwork. So,
Well, look, it's all there. I presume you've read it. Does someone like to move the recommendation? Councillor
and
Smith?
it came to the council because there was one person
Our
that was
lights going in
concerned.
someone's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And their main concern was about the fence, which is now being finished.
Yeah. Well, I've got a mover, moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Colton. Those in favour say aye.
Aye.
No, carried. Oh, and then I've got all this stuff. What page we go to next, somebody? Is it 105, is it? Righto, page 105, which is the investment rates collection report.
Just our standard monthly report. I can take any questions. If you have any, it's nice to note that we have had $2.1 million of our flood damage money come in as of yesterday. So that is wonderful news.
Alex, you indicated earlier there was a couple of reasons for that. What are they?
I think that your ministerial intervention was one of them. The other was that our cessation of works triggered Transport for New South Wales to take it seriously that we had a serious problem.
Do you let them know that we were going to stop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I supplied them with the minutes of the previous meeting. And with thanks to former employee Alan Kerr, we got an extraordinary out-of-cycle payment from Transport for New South Wales.
Oh, that's good news. Yeah.
We previously said we were completely dissatisfied with the acquittal process. I would say we're satisfied now.
Good. Yeah. So you're not owed very much at all now.
It's almost immaterial.
And what's the assessment worth on the last round of damage?
We don't know.
You still don't know? No.
My expectation is somewhere between $6 or $8 million.
Is it that high?
Yeah. The transport assessors are being much more heavy-handed with their approvals as we get further and further into the into the process, so I expect what we submit and what we get back, there might be a larger gap between those two figures than there have been for previous events, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty widespread event.
Mm. So what's the time frame then, Alex? You can't start on any of that repair until, or can you do it once it's assessed? Or?
We can do emergent works as
Yeah.
soon as the declaration is made. So that's the patch-up works that
Righto.
allow safe patch.
You just document that, do you, and then claim it?
Yes, that all goes through the same process,
Yeah.
the same computer software. It's all captured,
Yeah.
and then we submit a claim at the conclusion of emergent works. And I think it's a 3 or a 6 month period to do that. The assessment, I would anticipate, will take about another 3 months before we get what they call an approved upper limit, and then we have 2 years to carry out the works. From there.
Okay. So you're using this new filming to establish this assessment? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not using it to capture the damages because we're mandated to use particular software, all councils are,
Oh, yeah.
to capture the damages. But what the RACA software that has all the 5 metre interval pictures of our entire
Yes.
network has given us is the best pre-disaster condition evidence you could possibly imagine. And that's one of the things that's been point of contention in the past.
Yes.
So we're able to say that here's a picture, and a high resolution picture,
Yeah.
of the exact location, and most of it, like some of it's only 3 weeks old
Yep.
at the time of the...
And you can only put it back as to the condition it was in. So there's no betterment, is there?
There is no betterment. One of the worst pieces of bureaucracy I've seen in this game is that they will pay us to put 25 millimetres of gravel on a road, if that's what they deem was lost.
Crazy, yeah.
Waste of time.
Yeah, that's right. All right, we'll hijack your report, Helen.
That's all good.
Any questions of Helen?
The only other thing I will mention is that, as mentioned before, the sale for unpaid rates auction is on the 14th of June, and that is when you are away for the country mayors.
That's what I've got that written down, but I didn't know what it was. 14th of June at 10 a.m. I've written that down at home and I thought, Syndicate, what's this referred to?
So,
What is it?
the sale for unpaid rates.
Oh, yeah.
We got a list of the,
I wasn't interested in
I can
buying
get
it.
you it's an ever-evolving list.
yeah,
So we have actually had a lot of interest in the Gravesend blocks because they are actually blocks of land.
I have had, you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
I wouldn't mind if
Yep, no.
if it's not too much up there,
We'll
just
get that for you.
I think we can flick it around everybody, Helen, please. Yeah.
So Helen, we start off with X amount and then as the rates are paid, we
If they're paid up in full, that's the condition. Once they hit this point, they have to actually be paid up in full to be taken off the list. But they can be, right up until the morning of the auction.
There's a fair percentage of those that won't ever be paid because they're, well, some of them, is there a block at the gully we're not sure who owns? There used to be anyway, up above the fire shed there.
There's a couple of them are actually just misalignments with amalgamations and stuff where solicitors have missed parcels of land, so I'm not sure what will happen with them. It's literally all been handed off to the contractor we've got doing it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we will have more and more meetings with them as it gets a bit closer,
Yeah.
but not that it'll take long for the 14th of June to come around.
But I imagine there's things like deceased estates and
Yes.
we don't know who.
We did have one come through that was in an estate that we're working with them now to see if we can get it sorted prior to that, but
Yeah.
those things are really difficult, and now that we've got to this point in the process and they're only kind of raising it, it's a bit tricky.
Okay.
So is the sale of them going to cover the rates that are lost?
Not necessarily. Because they sell for what they sell regardless of how much outstanding is on them.
Just get what you can out of them. Yeah. All right, anyway.
June.
14th of June.
14th of June at 10 o'clock at here at the
Yes,
Roxy.
at the Roxy,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm just sending you all the list now. Gravesend.
can we have that put in our calendar, please, Leah?
14th of June, yeah. Rates collection, good, that same as last year?
Yeah, we're back up on track. We're just about where we normally are at this time of year.
Tomorrow, the last
I
day.
know. It's
Yeah.
it's freaky.
Fourth assessment, fourth installment.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think the last 4 or 5 years has been because so many people are on arrangements that it just comes out every fortnight.
Yeah, anyway, I think that's credit to our ratepayers.
It most certainly is, yeah.
All right, is there any questions of Helen? No? Somebody like to move the recommendation, please? Councillor Egan and seconded Councillor Mulligan. Put the motion, those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, no, carried. Assessment, all those assessments, what do I do with these?
The auditor, not, our local auditor,
Yeah,
wanted us to review all our policies. So that's
Right.
why you've got so many
they have
policies.
been reviewed and I can guarantee you I didn't read every word in every one of them.
No, there was a hell of a lot of reading.
And I did have a look through it. It's basically common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most of them have been reviewed and only minor changes made
Yeah.
as required. It's just that they were out of date, and on our management letter, if
Yeah.
we don't address that issue, it will become an even bigger issue. So staff have been working very diligently to get a large number of policies, and we are hoping to crack the 0 out-of-date policies by 30th of June.
Yeah.
And we're well on our way to doing that.
Oh, well, it's probably, I think it would be good for the new council to read these or look at them, especially ones that, like this disposal of assets where a council might want to buy something or, you need to know the procedure.
It's a requirement after the election that they do get to see.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's good. Yeah. Okay, well, the recommendation is that the draft asset disposal, list of disposal, this is for all of them. Can we do it in bulk, in one
yes,
go?
you can.
Yeah.
You've got a council that's willing to move it.
To move the,
Next 3 items. That one and the next 2.
that the revised policies be adopted. Somebody like to move that? We can do them one by one if you like. Councillor Matthews, seconded Councillor Mulligan. Any questions on any of them?
Just like to ask Justin, did you get the 4 policies settled for the government? Because you know that they can't do it, so you've done well. That came up in the audit.
Yeah, so I got a couple in the ARIC report too. So.
Yeah. Well, we've got a mover and a seconder that we adopt the policies in bulk. Put the motion, those in favour say aye.
Aye.
It's no carried. Now,
The
the
audit.
next one's 9.8 on page 130.
I've got a complete copy of the thing to table. You did get it
Aren't you sleeping
electronically
well,
as well.
Aren't you sleeping well?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, this is actually it's been something that's been plaguing the audit ARIC committee, hasn't it? They seem to be the audit office seems to be fixated on this for probably everybody, certainly us, and here it is. Well, there's a recommendation there, or would people rather come back to the next meeting after having read the policy? There it is. We're being caretaker mode before we've read it.
So there was the IT to disaster recovery plan that it's also been to the management meeting, hasn't it? As has the
ARIC.
business continuity plan, so it has been to other committees as well.
Yeah. Yeah, child safe's been in front of ARIC committee, yeah. They have been discussed, that's for sure. And actually that one they backed off a bit, didn't they? The rules.
The child safety.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
Because
Because
at one stage we're all going to have police checks. Yeah.
we were all involved in it, and then it turned out we weren't.
So did you want to, explain anything or contribute at all, Justin?
Well, the IT disaster recovery plan is literally just what would happen in a disaster. It's just a plan for ourselves internally. What would happen? The business continuity plan is more of a risk thing, so it's overarching across the whole organisation, saying the IT disaster recovery plan would be a subset of the business continuity, but it's just getting those major services up and running. I think there's preschools and plans for the preschool. I can't remember what the other two are now. Finance, customer service, that's what it was. Just what would happen, how would we get them running and how quickly we get them. Most of it hinges on IT anyway, so.
But Justin, is that only related to like internally within the council?
Yes.
So what happens if you get hacked? Is that covered?
I have a cyber incident policy for that instead. So that would put out the steps we take and who we can contact in the event of that, and yeah, it's a separate policy that was already adopted. I've also got a data breach one if you're interested in that too one day.
I'll put it on the board.
Put on audio books so you can listen to it while on the train.
You want to do the audio book for them?
It's all right, Justin.
No, this is purely if one of the buildings becomes obsolete, pretty much.
Hopefully Stephen Fry will rate it and make it all worthwhile.
So there's recommendations there in front of you. Is there any questions of Justin or anybody? If there isn't, do I have a mover of the recommendation? Councillor Mulligan, thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Galvin. Any discussion at all? Nope. We'll put the motion. Those in favour say aye. Aye. Carried. Where are we up to?
Really financial review.
221.
221, thank you.
Responsibility of council, so.
Really got through a bit then. Right, the quarterly review. Back to you, Helen.
So this is our final quarterly review for this financial year. The adjustments that have been put in there were based on our best ideas on how we're going to end up at the end of the financial year. Since that was done, we have had that large chunk of flood damage money come in. We have had acknowledgement of the R2R funding for the next 5 years of the program, which gives us an extra just over $900,000 a year, isn't it, Alex? Extra funding towards our R2R program without any extra additional own source expenditure required. We will have those adjustments made in the long-term financial plan and the budget, even though it's on display at the moment.
Yeah, sure. What's it
before
do
it's
to the bottom
adopted.
line? What's it do to the bottom line?
It's not going to change the bottom line because that extra funding needs to be spent on roads.
Yeah, sure.
It's just going to increase our grant funding.
Make it come up.
It's not grant funding, is it? It's income. Yeah.
Just after that.
Well, it's going to improve our liquidity,
Yes.
sure. And is the R2R money coming in July?
It will, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about for the balance for this year? Or
No, the next round. Does it all come in?
No. R2R's claimed quarterly and paid.
Oh, is it? I should have known that, I suppose, yeah. Right.
So we will get those adjustments to those line items in the budget to be adopted.
And I think
in June.
I know the answer to this, but our contribution to R2R, even though it's nearly doubled, it doesn't change.
There's been no indication
But-
that it will.
No, that's excellent. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a bit of a relief, isn't it?
Yeah, it hasn't been explicitly stated. We haven't been given a letter to say our new reference rate or our, the reference rate for the new program is the same as the old one. But the feedback we got directly from the roads recovery bureaucrats is that the doubling in R2R was not met with a doubling in reference rate.
Very good. And the FAGS grant contribution's going up, isn't it?
It has this already this year by about $500,000 on the
roads
component. It was
yeah.
300 on general purpose, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't actually received anything yet either to see whether we'll get forward paid again
No, I haven't heard anything about
this
that.
year. It's usually the end of May, early June that we do get it. I know we did get a letter earlier on in the year to say they'd miscalculated our financial assistance money, so we're actually going to be short paid even when if we do get forward paid.
Oh, they haven't
By
paid.
yeah, I think it's about $12,000 or something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I just think of the outdoor staff, and it looks like we'll be right for another year.
Oh, absolutely. Really, with the increase in fags and the increase in roads to recovery, I think that's really a long-term increase in outdoor staff numbers.
Yeah, yeah. Because the R2R money is 5-year cycle. Yeah.
So that program will finish this financial year, and then the new
The old
will
one
start.
will, and the new one will start.
Yeah.
And I hope that it'll be one of those things that once the federal government sets the bar up here, it's harder for it to...
You would hope so, wouldn't you? Yeah. Yeah. Any questions, Alan, on any of this? Where's the recommendation?
At the March
here,
quarterly
see.
budget review statement, it be noted further that the March quarterly budget adjustments be approved.
Approved, yeah. Moving that, councillor Egan, a seconder to me. Councillor Smith, thank you. Everybody happy with that? I'll put the motion, those in favour say aye. Against no, and that's carried. I can offer councillor reports now or in the confidential, if you choose to do it in confidential session, that's fine. The open meeting, councillor Egan.
Mine's the libraries, and we're moving the hours of the libraries. Are we doing?
That's in.
It's just here.
It's in confidential session.
Yeah, that's the confidential.
Does it have to be?
Only because the employees don't know about it yet.
Oh, okay. I thought they
So,
were advised.
we'll
by
talk
Except
about
for
that
those that
later.
listen to
All
our...
right, leave it alone.
Is there any of these later items? They're all confidential, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is it, you got anything, Councillor Colton, that you'd like to discuss in open meeting?
No.
Oh,
What's wrong?
I don't think.
No.
We're just doing council reports.
Councillor Galvin? No. Councillor Smith?
No.
Nothing? Councillor Moore?
No, John. Thanks.
Councillor Mulligan? Nothing. All right. Well,
Councillor, how about we have a break because Councillor Matthews might want to raise something.
yeah. All right then. He can do that later. We can do that.
Oh,
later.
okay. All
Yeah.
right.
He's on a medical call, I think. We can go into confidential session, or we could have a cup of tea.
I'll have it.
Well, the fact that Councillor Mulligan's had to take a phone call.
He's there.
Not Mulligan, sorry, Matthews. You'd started him.
Chris Martin.
We'll take a break, have a cup of tea when he comes back. Right, we'll call the meeting back to order. And Max is just going to go through the changes to dates that we've discussed.
The following meeting alterations are recommended if the meeting agreed. Cancel the 13th of June committee meeting, cancel the 11th of July committee meeting, cancel the 25th of July council meeting, cancel the 29th of August council meeting, and hold a council meeting on Wednesday the 7th of August. Is there any disagreement to that?
Everybody's happy with that, we'll just adopt it. Okay, and I think you've got it now, Bronwyn. Probably explained a lot better than I was trying to do.
Well, I was trying to put it in, but it would have sent it to him.
No, Bronwyn will send it to us, won't you?
Mine sends to everyone.
Just means there's no meetings at all in July.
Don't complicate things.
Councillor Matthews, did you have any councillor reports?
Oh, yes, I missed you, you're out.
Um,
You can do it now or in the confidential session, whichever you prefer.
I've got nothing to report.
Nothing to report, might as well do it now then.
Now all confidential.
Yeah. All right, I'd like somebody to move that we go into confidential session. Councillor Mulligan, seconded Councillor Egan. Put the motion, those in favour say aye. Aye. Carried. Microphone is off, please. Now, would you read the recommendations from the
Yes, I will.
confidential session?
The report 7.1 fuel report. The recommendation from the committee is the council awards tenders GWY 2024 T01 to Metala Proprietary Limited, trading as Northwest Petroleum Proprietary Limited, for deliveries of fuel to the Bingara Depot. Further, that council awards tender GWY 2024 T01 to Roger Moore Proprietary Limited for fuel deliveries to the remaining Shire facilities. Further, that a period of 6 months is provided for both successful tenderers to resolve issues identified in C Civil's independent evaluation of its safety systems, or its contract is forfeited. Sorry, I didn't.
H.
Oh, H. What did I say?
C.
Oh. Okay. The next item was Bingara Administration Building. That the draft responses to the request for further information from the Office of Local Government in its correspondence dated 30th of April 2024 are adopted and endorsed as the Council's responses. Item 7.3, Bingara and Warialda Libraries, opening hours. The recommendation is that the revised operating hours to be introduced and noted. 7.4, Property Matters. That the Council accepts the counter offer to purchase 39 Cunningham Street, Bingara, at a price of $230,000 plus the legal costs involved. Further, that the land be classified as operational once the purchase is finalised by Council, and that the seal of Council be affixed to all the necessary documentation. Further, that the General Manager is authorised to progress the subdivision and sale of lots created from Lot 328 DP 727843. Further, that Council accept the offer of $72,500 for Lot 20 in the Moore Street Bingara subdivision. 7.5, Vacuum Excavator Purchase. That Council purchases the Vermeer VSK 70-800 vacuum excavation truck as per Vermeer quotation at $277,727, excluding GST plus on-road costs. And 7.6, the draft audit office report. Recommendation is that the General Manager is delegated with the authority to approve its asset management plan and strategies prior to the Council's response to the draft report on 12th June 2024.
Thank you. Could I have a mover that we adopt those recommendations? Councillor Mulligan, seconded Councillor Galvin. Put that motion, those in favour say aye. Aye. It's now carried. There being no further business, I declare the meeting closed. Thank you for your presence.